put up with this all the time. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Okay.
Everyone sees the same sky. But when we look up, we see something amazing. This winter, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
Going to have wide-ranging impacts.
Winter storms are too important to cover in just a few minutes.
It's going to be brutal for a lot of people.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
That's why those temperatures stay cold.
Look at this! Listen to that!
See this winter like never before. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Currently in our area, 59 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, rain showers along with windy conditions. High 68. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, showers early, low 64. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, cloudy skies early, followed by partial clearing. Slight chance of a rain shower, high 74. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Our eyes. They have a 200-degree range of sight, which is good for me. Hey! And bad for the Barkley twins.
Your brain can send information to the rest of your body at 268 miles an hour. 3 times the speed of a fastball.
Take care of your most important parts with Centrum. Multivitamins expertly designed with nutrients people don't get enough of from food alone. Centrum, for the most important parts of you.
If you have Medicare Part D, Walgreens gets that you might be at the corner of looking for a good deal, and sheesh, I wish I'd look some more. That's why Walgreens makes it easy to switch your prescriptions and save money. Just stop by and leave all the legwork to us. Switch your prescriptions to Walgreens, where you could save even more on Medicare Part D with copays as low as $0. At the corner of happy and healthy.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
You were out of control.
But not always.
If I were to define the word foodie, I would say it's someone who has great passion and love for food. Cooking is very social. Cooking is very joyful, and I think that needs to be shared with the people that you care most about. One of the biggest reasons that our QVC foodies connect with me is that I meet them where they live. I'm not a chef. I'm a home cook just like they are. And each and every show we're learning together and we're sharing our passion for wonderful food. And I think that's why our relationship is so strong. I'm David Venable, QVC's resident foodie.
Welcome to the world of Chopped. This season is the most challenging, jaw-dropping, and heart-plunging yet. And I love every minute of it.
Chopped, Tuesday night at 10 on Food Network.
Even pay the return postage. Try NoNo risk-free today.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
And a good cold frosty morning to you at 52 minutes past the hour. Just 2 days away from some of the NFL playoff football, and we know cold air is staying in place.
And we know Paul Goodlow is going to have the forecast for us for Sunday's game at Lambeau Field between the Cowboys and the Packers. Ooh, this is going to be a good one on so many levels, Paul.
Advantage Packers, Paul. That's what I'm thinking.
You would think so, but let's talk about the weather here. This is a big-time NFL divisional playoff game going on Sunday. The America's team, the Cowboys, going in against a lot of people's favorite team, the Green Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. So again, big-time matchup going on here. And the forecast is typical Green Bay in January. Temperatures barely get out of the upper teens, maybe touch 20 degrees. It is going to be a cold game. You think, yeah, okay, the Packers should have the advantage on this one. But let's take a look at some of the stats here in terms of how the Cowboys play in cold weather. Well, so far this season, they've only played one game in temperatures in the 30s, and they actually won that game in Chicago, but the temperature is only 35 degrees. To go back to the last time they were playing in sub-freezing temperatures, you got to head back to December of 2013. They lost that game also to the Bears, and the temperature was 8 degrees during that game. By the way, Tony Romo, since he's been the quarterback, they are 1-2 in temperatures below 30 degrees, so not the best record for them. Now, on the flip side, take a look at the Green Bay Packers. They are undefeated at home so far this season, 8-0. And since 2008, when temperatures below freezing, well, we're talking they are 16-6-1. They have definitely owned the cold. By the way, 8 of those games were at 20 degrees or colder, and their record in those 8 games, well, they are 5-2-1. So definitely the advantage will go to the Packers in terms of the cold weather. Although, again, the Cowboys are undefeated on the road, so this will be a close game. And if it really is close, it could come down to field goal kicking. Now, Lambeau Field, well, it's not the most friendliest environment for kickers. In fact, in terms of kicks greater than 30 yards, the make percentage is about 71%. Now, in fact, we push that back to over 50 yards. Well, that percentage actually goes down dramatically, and some of that has to do with the temperature as well. So when the temperatures are below 38 degrees, the field goal make percentage over 50 yards drops to 30%. Now, if we increase the temperatures, we'll actually increase that percentage of actually making those field goals by almost by double, so close to 60% there. But we know that it's not going to be that warm at all for this game. Now, in terms of kickers, Cowboys versus the Packers, well, the Cowboys definitely have the advantage here in terms of the kickers. We're talking about Dan Bailey so far this season. He's kicking about 86% make percentage. The Green Bay Packers, Crosby, he's about 81%. But yeah, Crosby, not the best so far in December versus Bailey. He is almost perfect in December. He's perfect outdoors, so definitely the advantage, the slight advantage for kickers goes to the Cowboys. But in terms of the weather, you cannot bet against the Green Bay Packers in January with temperatures barely making 20 degrees. So based on the weather, I'm picking the Green Bay Packers to win the game on Sunday. Guys?
All right, sir. And you know what? I mean, when you look at it going in, you think the advantage would go to Packers, but when you break it down by the stats, it's important to do.
It'll be a fun one to watch, though, the frozen tundra. Very, very cool. All right, as we head into the weekend, we're watching that game, right? But also an ice threat that starts in the Gulf Coast.
All right, so let's talk to Tom Nizzle about it and get you the last word on that for this morning.
Yeah, my money's on the Pack, but I'll tell you what, we're talking about Dallas, the Cowboys. Let's see what might be happening in Dallas as we go into the weekend. I'm going to show you the setup here. That Arctic high-pressure system is settled across the eastern U.S. on Saturday, and coming around that high, we begin to see this flow here coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. That is a little bit of moisture working its way into the Arctic air. As we go into the Sunday and into the Monday timeframe, look at how that moisture continues to work its way northward here into what is left of that Arctic air across the eastern half of the nation, and that continues right into Monday. That Monday time frame along the East Coast could be interesting. So let's see how this plays out. On Saturday, the best chance for the wintry mix starts in southwest Texas here, works its way up into the Dallas area as we get into the Sunday time frame, and then all the way into St. Louis as this moisture works its way into that or over that shallow cold air. By the time we get into the Monday time frame, guys, you not only have this wintry mix across the Midwest here, but there is some cold air damming taking place. Cold air that continues to work its way down on the east side of the Appalachians in this Monday time frame. I'm concerned about places like Washington, D.C. That's right, Washington, D.C. once again as we get into Monday night, and then into early Tuesday morning. Take a look at a place like St. Louis. Here you're going to see that wintry mix through that time frame, even going into that Monday morning period. But in Washington, D.C., you go from ice to rain Monday, and then Monday night, we've got a forecast of temperatures dropping back down into the upper 20s. When you get that cold in the area and bring in some freezing rain, this could be a critical situation. So, guys, we're going to have to watch this one carefully. This is the freezing rain event that I was concerned about, with that little bit of Gulf moisture working its way into the Arctic air. I'll send it back over to you.
Location is critical. Temperature profile, that's going to be one to closely watch.
And the biggest sign of that is this is just not going to break.
Right.
I mean, you know, we're going to be in it for a couple of more days. We're certainly in it throughout the day today, all the way through the morning hours. And the best thing to do is just kind of settle back in because we've got more.
Second cup of coffee. Jen Carfagno, Chris Warren up next.
Currently in our area, 59 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, rain showers along with windy conditions. High 68. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, showers early, low 64. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, cloudy skies early, followed by partial clearing. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 74. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It's the coldest morning of the season for 2/3 of the country today, and not very many people are left out. We're talking from Minneapolis all the way down to Tampa. It is cold. That cold runs deep. We're going to check in with some of the coldest cities, and that includes the Windy City.
That's right, here in Chicago, has yet to hit 0 this morning. We will get there, but it comes at a cost. The result of warmer temperatures straight ahead on Weather Center.
And it's a pain to deal with the cold, but we will show you if that cold is actually a source of some health problems, including headaches. This is Weather Center Live. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Chris Warren. And I'm Jen Carfagno. We have been talking about it all week, and today the Arctic blast delivered its strongest punch. In fact, we want to show you something right here. Look at this thermometer in Minneapolis, 20 below zero, even colder than that, Jen.
Oh,
look at that. Looks
that
cold.
wind blowing the snow.
Ooh.
The Twin Cities joins over half of the U.S. population under some kind of wind chill alert as you struggle to pull yourself out of bed this morning. Some places feel like 20 to 30 degrees below zero. Is that the Arctic?
It looks like it, doesn't it? You think some dogs who cruise by with the sleigh.
Exactly. Get ready. Day 4 of sub-zero temperatures for the Windy City, and at the airport at O'Hare, it was 6 below at last check.
And Mike Bettis is there counting up, it sounds like, to 0, Mike, in some bone-chilling temperatures. How you doing?
Isn't it weird to think that we're counting up to 0? We're going the wrong way, I feel like, with the temperatures lately here in the Midwest. But obviously, it's so chilly. By the way, the temperature's gone up to 3 below 0, but the wind chill's 24 degrees below 0 here along Michigan Avenue. You're hard-pressed to find anyone that isn't completely bundled up here and you know, without complete headgear and what have you. I mean, I love the fur-lined coats. Everyone's got the fur-lined hats these days. It's the new trending look here in Chicago, I feel like, but it's functional and it's fashion all at the same time. Obviously, the last couple of days, this being our 4th straight day where we've had below 0 temperatures, you have to do everything you can to battle these elements. As Chicago River's frozen over, Lake Michigan's starting to freeze up, the people are starting to freeze up as well. But I think after a couple of days, mentally, you finally get adjusted to it. Physically, I don't know if you really ever do, and so you minimize your time that is spent outside. Chicago Public Schools closed for the 2nd straight day. They may not do that tomorrow because they'll get a little bit warmer. But the folks that we talked to, one particular woman who we can't even reveal her face. Check this out.
Well, I'm happy the sun is out. That makes it much better and easy to deal with. But I'm just wearing lots of layers. I've got leggings and I've got high socks on top of leggings, and then I've got lots of wool and just lots of winter accessories. The trick is not to expose any skin.
And mission accomplished there, Miss Vanessa. We have no idea what that woman looked like. Hey, I want to show you this, Jen, real quick. So we had some pink lemonade here. We just put it into our ice cube tray. It's still water. You can see that. I want you to come back here in a half an hour. We'll have some pink lemonade popsicles for you just to prove how cold it is here in Chicago. We're making popsicles on the sidewalks.
In a half an hour? That's crazy. Mike Bettis, thank you. I loved her getup with the glasses and the hat and the scarf. I tell you what, if you've got any kind of covert operation, you do it in the winter because nobody will recognize you. All right, let's look at Chicago. At Midway Airport, it is 3 below right now. Temperatures will creep up a little bit into the teens, but we've got a clipper coming in that will bring some snow. So get ready for that this afternoon. And all the while, winds are still going to be gusty. You know, despite the temperatures creeping up a little bit right through the afternoon, we are still going to feel well below zero, feeling like 20 below at lunchtime almost, and then staying with the feels like of sub-zero all the way through this evening. All right, Chris, so who else is dealing with these temps?
That's a great question, and we're going to go right now for some expert analysis, Jen, on this cold. We go to the lab, and Dr. Greg Postel, keeping an eye on this. Dr. Postel.
Yeah, Chris and Jen, it's cold pretty much everywhere east of the Rockies. I mean, we've got this really cool image to show you that very few places east of the Rockies have escaped this brutal Arctic air mass. Look at some of these numbers right now, guys. Starting off in the Northeast. How about some of these numbers? That's the blue bar on the left. That's the actual air temperature. But look at some of those wind chill values. That's kind of a key ingredient to this. It's not just been cold in many places. It has also been windy, making it feel like a lot colder, 10, 20, even 30 degrees colder than it actually is. I mean, look at some of these numbers. Mobile, Alabama, it's actually 22 right now. New Orleans still well below freezing in the upper 20s. Guys, so the question is, how many records did we break this morning with this incredibly cold air mass? Let's look at this map. Not that many, right? I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, really? Really? Only what, 5? It's true. Montpelier, Vermont, minus 20. That's a record low for the date. Fayetteville, North Carolina, 13. Columbus, Georgia, 13. So that's pretty cold. But, you know, you can sort of see why it's been cold. And on the satellite pictures, this is really cool. You see all the colors here. Those are obviously high clouds that are really cold. But look at this right in here. You see that white shading that extends all the way down into the south? That's actually the ground temperature. That's the same temperature as the clouds on this infrared satellite picture. So the ground is as cold as the clouds, guys. That is pretty telling that this is a very cold air mass with lows all across the eastern half of the country, you know, way below 20. In fact, Atlanta, 11. Chris, Warren, what do you think about that? Atlanta, 11 degrees. Hard to deal with in the south, isn't it?
Well, Dr. Postel, the question, you're saying it has been colder, but how much colder has it been in some of these areas?
A lot. Let's go right to the mass. Not even close. Yeah, look at some of these numbers in the upper Midwest from years past. Minneapolis, their all-time record low is minus 41. I was in Madison, Wisconsin in the mid-90s where we were down at minus 30. Atlanta's record low is minus 9, in New Orleans 11. So while this air mass no doubt is cold, and in the south it really hits home, it gets right to the bone, it's been a lot colder in recent past. Guys, back to you.
I don't care. It still feels cold to me, but yes, it has been colder. Greg Postel, thank you. That was great.
Yeah, we're seeing some very cold temperatures in a region that's not necessarily used to this much cold this long. Reynolds Wolf is in Nashville, Tennessee right now.
That's right, my man, and we are singing the blues on the cold temperatures that we're dealing with here in the Music City. How long is the cold spell going to last and what people are doing to stay warm? Let you know coming up.
Gonna wash the dust off my soul. Gonna listen to some rock and roll. No cares, come what may. I'm making a beautiful day.
You're only young once, unless you have a Subaru.
The Subaru XV Crosstrek. Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 34 mpg. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
If you're driving and you can't see clearly for 1 second at 60 miles per hour, you can't see clearly for 88 feet. And a lot can happen in 88 feet. That's why Bosch created the new Icon with ClearMax 365. It's a rubber technology for longer lasting performance, not found on any other wiper blade. Because like you, Bosch cares about what's ahead.
Oh, there's an energy crisis happening, all right. A human one. And it's time to fight it. With the good energy of Quaker Oats. It's how we help keep go-getters like you going and getting. One bite at a time. Try new Quick Steel Cut oatmeal for a heartier texture. Quaker Up.
Currently in our area, 59 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, rain showers along with windy conditions. High 68. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, showers early, low 64. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, cloudy skies early, followed by partial clearing. Slight chance of a rain shower, high 74. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, the Titans of weather bring the rain. Geek Out, Sundays at noon on the Weather Channel.
Hurry! There's a hot offer for heartburn sufferers. Now try Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com. Hurry! It's free this week only. No pill relieves heartburn faster. Get Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com.
Sometimes at last doesn't happen at first.
My love has come along. My lonely days.
Your dad just kissed my mom.
Are over.
Turning two worlds into one takes love.
And life is like a song.
Helping protect that world takes State Farm.
If you suffer from a dry mouth, then you'll know how uncomfortable it can be. But did you know that the lack of saliva can also lead to tooth decay and bad breath? Well, there is Biotene, specially formulated with moisturizers and lubricants. Biotene can provide soothing relief, and it helps keep your mouth healthy, too. Biotene, for people who suffer from a dry mouth.
Home, Dad.
Thanks, buddy.
Does he know what he's doing?
He knows what he's doing. Ready, Star Command. Prepare for launch.
This should be good.
To infinity!
We all have a Disney side.
Everyone in the car, let's go get them.
And the best place to show it is Disney Parks. So come to the place where the entire family can laugh, let loose, and play together. Disney Parks. Come on, it's time to show your Disney side.
People got up this morning. I think the first thing they did was either check their phone or they have a thermometer. They went to check that. I was so interested in what was my temperature going to drop to.
Well, this the thing is you wake up and you can tell your house is probably a little bit colder. And you get close to the windows to look outside and you can feel the cold air on your face.
Yes, I got 10 at my house.
It's chilly.
It's very chilly all across the east, really from the Midwest to the Northeast, all the way into the Southeast, the deep South, setting record low temperatures this morning.
Yeah, we're looking at freezing temperatures from almost border to border here as far as the Canadian border goes, all the way down to the Gulf Coast states. And we can see here, see that big dip in the jet stream, and it goes all the way down to Florida, seeing some very cold air.
You know, by contrast, in the West, it has been warm, and yesterday it was in the 80s in California. But I'll tell you what, that contrast with what's been happening in the East is really quite notable. One spot that has been in the chill is Nashville, Tennessee.
And that's where we find meteorologist Reynolds Wolf right now. He is live in a very chilly Music City. How you doing, Reynolds?
Oh, man. Yeah, it is brutal out here, no doubt about it. When the wind picks up a little bit, you just feel the face beginning to freeze. But it is brutal times. You want to talk about brutal? Deb Jones, producer, she came in from Cancun, Mexico just yesterday. So going from that tropical environment to what we have now is brutal. Plus, a lot of people, 630,000 people that call Nashville home, are dealing with it. You include the people in the hinterlands, you're talking around 1 million or so. And if you look behind me, right along the banks of the Cumberland River, you can see some of that steam coming up. Just evidence of the cold we're dealing with. And it's going to be like one of those neighbors that comes over and sticks around longer than you want him to. This cold air is going to be sticking around through about midday on Sunday. Got a lot of people that are working around the clock. You've got fire departments out and about. The school board is getting in. Public schools are actually, they've got 2 buses. The city's put out 2 school buses that are going to be warming units set up so that anyone who feels a little bit chilled, like they're just burdened by this cold air, they can go in and get shelter. And they're accepting pets too. So you got to like that aspect. You know, we mentioned the fire department's out and about. The city's working hard, but you know what? So is the police department. And we've got the commander with us, Commander Reinbold. Thanks so much for spending time with us this morning. I imagine you guys are pretty busy around the clock, aren't you?
We are. The Metro Nashville Police Department maintains a high priority in conducting welfare checks when the cold weather persists, as you see today.
Absolutely.
And it keeps us busy, but since November 12, we've conducted over 2,500 welfare checks on individuals that are vulnerable to these conditions. And our objective is to simply ensure that they can care for themselves, and if they can't, we'll provide the transportation to shelter, and we offer that transportation each and every time we go out and meet an individual on the streets.
That's a tall order for you guys. Again, we're talking 630,000 people that live in this area. You guys working all the way around the clock, full crews for as long as this lasts?
Absolutely. Like I said, it's a priority because of the partnerships that we've developed with groups such as the Nashville Rescue Mission and the Room in the Inn, and even Open Table and some of the other entities in the county that actually are focused in on providing these types of shelters. We have officers out not only in their vehicles, their police vehicles, but we even have a few bike officers that will weather these conditions, and I even have officers on the streets walking and looking for these types of individuals.
Well, we certainly appreciate you trying to keep us warm and always keeping us safe. Thanks again so much, Commander. All right, guys, let's send it back to you in the studio.
Reynolds, thank you very much. Stay warm. It looks cold out there.
You can see their breath. It looks cold. Now, with the cold and the wind and the high pressure moving over the country, how is that affecting how you feel when it comes to headaches? We've got a doctor to tell us more up next.
Why do you want to do your taxes now with Jackson Hewitt? Because you need a free $50 Walmart e-gift card so you can share the joy of getting your taxes done. Now get a free $50 Walmart e-gift card when you do your taxes with Jackson Hewitt at Walmart.
I've seen hurricanes, floods, I've seen tornadoes. We give out Duracell batteries after the worst happens. And when the power's out for days, we stay with them. You might say they lost everything, but that's not what I see. I see a different kind of power. I saw it in Ruth, Adam, Tom. It's the power they have inside of them. The power to move forward.
At Duracell, we believe that's the power that never, ever goes out.
For most people, earning cash back ends here at the purchase. But there's a new card in town. Introducing the Citi Double Cash Card. It lets you earn cash back when you buy and again as you pay. That's cash back twice. It's cash back with a side of cash back. The Citi Double Cash Card. The only card that lets you earn cash back twice on every purchase. With 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service certified asthma and allergy friendly. It's our new standard of clean. Call about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Toenail fungus? Don't hide it, fight it with new FDA-approved Jublia. Jublia, efinaconazole 10% topical solution, is a prescription medicine proven to treat fungal infections of the toenails. Use Jublia as instructed by your doctor. Most common side effects include ingrown toenail, application site redness, itching, swelling, burning or stinging, blisters, and pain. Fight it! Ask your doctor now if new Jublia is right for you.
Homer, did I ever tell you I'm getting you over it?
Sunday, Frustrations mount as the prospectors come up empty.
The area we've been digging is not producing. I'm feeling the pressure.
And Craig gets a little too close for comfort.
You're here.
Mom and Dad told us they had just made their funeral and burial prearrangements. We thought they already had taken care of that. When we learned it was through Beth Israel and Eternal Light, we knew everything would be handled in the most caring and professional way. We realized it would be one of the most difficult days of our lives. It inspired my husband and me to make our own prearrangements so the burden wouldn't fall on our children when that day comes. It's not an easy thing to think about, but I'm so glad we did.
If I were to define the word foodie, I would say it's someone who has great passion and love for food. Cooking is very social. Cooking is very joyful, and I think that needs to be shared with the people that you care most about. One of the biggest reasons that our QVC foodies connect with me is that I meet them where they live. I'm not a chef. I'm a home cook just like they are. And each and every show we're learning together and we're sharing our passion for wonderful food. And I think that's why our relationship is so strong. I'm David Venable, QVC's resident foodie.
At adlens.com. For $29.99, you can see for yourself, and they make a great gift.
The Weather Channel unearths the investigations, the mysteries.
Nobody was flying the plane.
Why planes crash. Mondays at 9, here on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 63 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, rain showers along with windy conditions. High 68. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, showers early. Low 64. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, cloudy skies early, followed by partial clearing. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 74. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Here in the lab with Dr. Greg Postel to try to get an idea of just how big of a deal we're dealing with there. You have the cold air, very high pressure.
They're all related, you know?
And it's all connected.
Yeah, and you know, part of the reason the cold air and the high pressure are related is explained by this wonderful graphic that we have here, which shows you that basically the air pressure is a measure of the weight above you. And when you've got cold air on you, it's a little bit heavier, it's a little bit denser, so cold air and those high pressures kind of go together. And you can see that right here as you animate this thing. We saw very cold high pressure move off from the cold latitudes in Canada and park itself right over the southeast. And above that, what's happening is the air is so cold and dense near the ground, it's kind of spreading out a little bit, and you get some sinking air on top of it. So you get the sense that the air is just really heavy. It's like sludge over you.
But the thing is, it's a little misleading. Because of that sinking air, you don't have the cloud development. It dries things out. It's very dry, and it's a gorgeous day. The sun's out, but that air is so dense. It's like molasses air.
Yeah, it really is. And it's hard to get out of the way, too. So, I mean, you know, there's some thought that maybe it can affect your aches and pains and really lead to some other physical issues, you know, with the air very cold and dry like that. And we're going to see this air mass stick around for a little while now. So let's look at the maps and show you where the current high pressure system is. The one that just a little while ago set tons of pressure records because it was actually so high.
So high, so dense, and
right now
so cold is the main thing.
Right now it's at 1040 millibars, but look at some of these numbers across the region. Now, millibars, you might not know what that is. That's a measure of pressure. The higher the number, obviously the higher the pressure, but this is on the high end of your home barometers all across the region. These are just a sample of some of those places that have never seen high pressure that high before.
And so this is the exact opposite end of like a hurricane with really low pressure.
Yeah, a hurricane, tropics, warm, this kind of cold.
Totally different.
Totally different, yeah.
All right, Dr. Postel, thank you. Let's go back to Jen in the studio.
Oh, people have problems with this high pressure and the weather in general. People have been blaming their aches and pains on Mother Nature since the beginning of time. But is she really to blame? Dr. Shujatha Reddy of Atlanta's Northside Hospital says changes in barometric pressure can be a real headache for some.
You know, there's a lot of data that says the change in the weather affects your brain chemicals, specifically serotonin, maybe even dopamine. We see that with people that have the winter blues. The decrease in sunlight makes them feel sad and depressed. We also know those brain chemicals can affect migraines and headaches. Also, the change in the pressure can fire the nerves in the sinuses that can trigger migraine. So there's a lot of data that says that can make a difference.
You know, this has been called sort of one of the longest running controversies in medicine. Is there really a link between the weather and your aches and pains? And you ask almost anyone who's affected by it, and they say yes. So we have this aches and pains index here at the Weather Channel. And I first want to show you what goes into it, and then I'll show you today's map. But it goes into pressure change. And it's not just the amount of pressure, but it's the pressure changing, which affects people the most, we think. And that's 50% of the index. Precipitable water, how much moisture is in the atmosphere, the chance of precipitation or probability of precipitation, and also the temperature and the wind speed. Very low percentages there, but incorporated into the index. All right, so let me show you the map and where we are going to feel the aches and pains today when it comes to the weather. And that is right across the upper Midwest, where we had that record high pressure yesterday. It's the changing pressure that you will feel today, which we really think will trigger a lot of joint pain, maybe some headaches, and I'm sure we will hear from people today on social media. We often do when the weather starts making you feel bad.
Well, you know, you have the pressure changes to make you feel weird, but just going outside, and that's going to hurt.
Well, the cold will slap you in the face.
Different.
That's for sure. That's for sure. But, you know, I wish we could just gather all this data from everyone who gets the headaches when there's changing weather coming, because I feel like it would be a really good predictor for the weather.
It'd be a tough study, though, wouldn't it?
It would be.
I mean, because how do you actually measure it? You're getting the testimonial from somebody, right?
It's very subjective. It's very, but still fascinating. And, you know, for those of you who have headaches today, this is your reason why. We've got changing pressure big time.
And we also have some big time snow in some areas, causing some big problems. Lake effect snow and the strong winds leading to an accident here for some problems for drivers in the upper Midwest. This is a look at some of the conditions here that caused this 18-car pileup.
Oh, look at that. All right, so we are going to be looking for more snow coming through. Places like Minneapolis today, there's a clipper system will bring some snow squalls from Minneapolis heading through the Midwest.
Nailed it. You're right, that was really easy. I know, I told you so. On Progressive.com, you can compare our Progressive Direct rates with our competitors' rates, so shopping is easy. You don't sound like Flo. Yeah, I do.
Who are you talking to?
What?
What's on your hand?
Nothing. My wedding ring. Symbol of our love and understanding.
Comparing rates for you. Now that's Progressive.
Nailed it.
Night, Ted.
Night.
Remember when your trunk wasn't smart enough to open for you? When only your living room had HD?
Hi, babe.
You're not gonna make it, are you?
And a little weather could ruin your plans.
Come on. Have I ever let you down?
Well...
Don't answer that.
The all-new Genesis with H-Track all-wheel drive from Hyundai.
Guess what goes really well with eggs? Pillsbury Grand's biscuits make breakfast even better. Grand's biscuits make breakfast pop.
Our eyes, they have a 200-degree range of sight, which is good for me. Hey! And bad for the Barkley twins.
Your brain can send information to the rest of your body at 268 miles an hour. 3 times the speed of a fastball.
Take care of your most important parts with Centrum. Multivitamins expertly designed with nutrients people don't get enough of from food alone. Centrum, for the most important parts of you.
When it comes to good nutrition, I'm no expert. That would be my daughter.
Hi, Dad.
She's a dietitian. And back when I wasn't eating right, she got me drinking Boost. It's got a great taste, and it helps give me the nutrition I was missing, helping me stay more like me.
Boost Complete Nutritional Drink has 26 essential vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D to support strong bones, and 10 grams of protein to help maintain muscle, all with a delicious taste.
Grandpa!
Stay strong, stay active with Boost.
These lights alert you to potential trouble. So do these. See farther.
wider, better. Upgrade to Silver Star Ultra headlights from Sylvania.
Your mom's got your back. Your friends have your back. Your dog's definitely got your back. But who's got your back when you need legal help? We do. We're LegalZoom. And over the last 10 years, we've helped millions of people protect their families and run their businesses. We have the right people on hand to answer your questions, backed by a trusted network of attorneys. So visit us today for legal help you can count on. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
Currently in our area, 63 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, rain showers along with windy conditions. High 68. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, showers early, low 64. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, cloudy skies early, followed by partial clearing. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 74. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Right now on Weather Center Live, a chilly scene here. This is in Pennsylvania, and this is a time lapse. See how it looks like the snow's starting to really speed up? Altoona, Pennsylvania yesterday. That's about 80 miles east of Pittsburgh, if you're not familiar with the area. Cold scene here, Jen.
Cold is the word. High today in Pittsburgh will only be 15 degrees. But this morning, with the wind, it feels like almost negative 20.
And we want to thank you for staying with us here on Weather Center Live. I'm Chris Warren.
And I'm Jen Carfagno. And I tell you what, Chris, here we've got a clipper system today moving from the Midwest to the Northeast. And then later this weekend, all this cold air we have is going to stick around, and we may see some icing that we got to be worried about.
Hey, Jen, this is record-breaking cold. We're dealing with some very chilly temperatures right now. And this morning, this is a look at some of the records that have already been broken. And look at Mobile, 17. That is a new record. And you get to the north, tends to be a little bit colder, so it's going to need to be a lot colder to break a record. And that's what happened. You can see in many spots in Jackson to the north where temperatures did get well below zero. In fact, 20 below in some spots. Didn't break a record this morning in Chicago, but it's cold. Meteorologist Mike Bettis can tell you that firsthand. And Mike, we understand you're thinking about opening up a popsicle shop there.
I am. It's natural for a meteorologist to open up, someplace like that in the middle of winter, right? I'm not sure what kind of moneymaker that would be, but nonetheless, it's funny to think about, Chris. I'll show you here. By the way, I won't waste any time. All right. Come on down here, and I'll show you what you were talking about, Chris. A popsicle shop. If you were with us about 25 minutes ago, we poured some pink lemonade from our bottle down into our ice cube tray here, and we wondered how long it would take us to make popsicles. Well, wait no longer. There you have it. Popsicles. Oh. What bad. Only a meteorologist would eat a popsicle when it's 3 degrees below zero.
Hey, Mike.
But you can act, it's so cold. That just proves how cold it is out here, Chris, in 25 minutes.
Now, Mike.
Oh, excuse me.
Mike, is it frozen all the way through? Is it a complete ice cube, or are we dealing with a little bit of a slushy surprise on the inside?
It's a little bit slushy still. We did this. I heard take my glove off here real quick. We did this earlier this morning when it was even colder. and they froze solid. But there's still, I mean, there's still just a little, you can see there's a little bit of drip in there, just a little bit, but it's pretty much frozen. I mean, I see just a little bit of liquid still on the inside there, but I don't think I'm going to have many takers, Chris, on my popsicles here on Michigan Avenue. Ma'am, can I interest you in a popsicle? She gave me the hand. She's like, no. Which I don't. Yeah, I probably deserve that. At least she gave me the hand and not a single digit. But I got to tell you, Chris, when you think about the winds that are out here, it's dangerously cold to be outside. I mean, we're talking wind chills that have been 20, 25 degrees below zero this morning. So obviously you want to cover up. You want to make sure that you're limiting your exposure outside. But the good news is, it looks like we're going to warm today into the teens. Unfortunately, that does come with a caveat, being snow that rolls back in probably by midday today, and maybe 1 to 3 inches in Chicago, and it's going to happen right in time for your evening drive. And knowing, Chris, out here that we've got, it's been so cold, the pavement is frozen, everything that sticks, everything that falls is going to stick. So it's going to be a very slick commute this evening on the Dan Ryan. If you're taking public transportation, I think you're in a lot better shape than if you're commuting today in your car.
All right, Mike Bettis, we certainly appreciate that, and working on the popsicles out there, but also a good reminder that this weather is dangerous. I mean, Mike has to stand out there. It's his job. He's out there letting us know how cold it is, but it's a reminder of just how nasty this weather can be and the problems that come with it. Let's go to Jen right now in the lab with a look at some of the other issues. Jen?
We have seen a lot of issues, actually, and between the wind chill and then the lake effect snow, the snow squalls, it's a recipe for disaster for drivers in the upper Midwest. And in Grand Rapids, Michigan, 40 cars and several big rigs got into a massive accident. Police say white-knuckle drivers were going too fast for the whiteout conditions. One driver admitted to going about 40 miles per hour with nothing in front of him but, quote, a wall of white. Wow, it's amazing when you see that there were no serious injuries, but the accident did shut down the road for 2 hours. In western Pennsylvania, dangerous whiteout conditions are being blamed for a deadly pileup. Maria LaRosa has more.
These were the whiteout conditions in Clarion County, Pennsylvania, Wednesday afternoon. Troopers say the visibility went down to nearly zero when the deadly pileup occurred. 18 vehicles colliding, 3 people in the crash were killed, and around 30 others sent to the hospital.
I have never seen a crash of this multitude.
Troopers say 2 of the victims were killed after getting out of their cars and getting struck by other vehicles in the chain reaction collision. The 3rd died on the way to the hospital. It took hours to clear the wreckage of the 9 trucks and 9 cars on this westbound lane of I-80 in western Pennsylvania. At least one of the trucks carrying hazardous materials, but county officials say no leaks were found. If you ever find yourself stranded in a car in bad weather, police with this word of warning.
Stay inside your car, safest place you can be.
Maria LaRosa, The Weather Channel.
Yesterday on the roads, it was the snow squalls that I think really affected drivers. As we get into the weekend, Greg, it looks like ice on the road itself could be a problem.
Yeah, we could have a lot more travel issues across the heartland of America. St. Louis being one of those places, Little Rock, Arkansas, Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's look at St. Louis for the possibility of a wintry mix of rain, sleet, and snow, and also some freezing rain beginning over the weekend. Notice how we start off today or tomorrow cold in the teens.
Cold.
But
so the Arctic air is here.
Yes.
But as we get into the weekend, it warms up. But
that's the problem.
It's the transition that's a problem.
Right. You go up in temps, right? And it's that sort of battleground between the warm air trying to get back in and the cold air saying, I don't want to go anywhere.
Cold air is dense, it's heavy, it's generally boss in the atmosphere, right? Until it moves out, it's going to take over.
That is pretty funny. And let's talk about this pattern change coming. That's going to lead from the exceptionally cold air now to this kind of confrontation between some warmer air getting in and trying to push the cold air out. Right now at the jet stream level, we've got that very cold north flow.
Look where that air is coming from.
North of the Arctic Circle, and this jet stream is uniformly bringing it here.
We want some of this air.
Right. There's no competition for it right now, Jen, but there will be. Look at some of this stuff out here. The jet stream level, we're starting to see some west winds come in to the United States at about, 30 degrees latitude.
So once we get into the weekend, we're going to see the cold air start to retreat, but some will still be left behind, a shallow air mass of cold air.
Yes, step by step, the core of the Arctic air is going to get pushed out of the way, but there'll still be some lingering underneath it. Meanwhile, we'll have that jet stream coming in out of the west, trying to bring that warmer air aloft. So you've got this competition, this fight between these two air masses, a split flow, Jen, in the jet stream, the cold, dry air from the north and the mild, moist air from the Pacific.
And literally the cold air that's left behind is standing its ground on the ground in a shallow air mass until it decides to retreat and, turn back.
And it's in that sort of competition zone, that conflict, we're going to see a wintry mix with some ice on Sunday across Springfield and St. Louis. And then everything moves east-northeastward from there Sunday night. Many places in the Ohio Valley might see some ice, and it goes to the northeast as well, with, I think, a potential problem being parts of Virginia and North Carolina.
This could be the Monday morning commute, so an early heads up on that. Greg, thank you. Chris, over to you.
Yeah, we know the problem on hand right now, the extreme cold, so protecting yourself is important, but also your home from this bitter cold. Coming up, Storm Tracker Jim Cantore, he's going to join us with some valuable advice on how to save your garden during this Arctic cold snap and how to protect your home.
Currently in our area, 64 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, rain showers along with windy conditions. High 68. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, showers early, low 64. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, cloudy skies early, followed by partial clearing. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 74. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
Each year, 17 billion toilet paper tubes are thrown away in the U.S. alone. That's enough to fill the Empire State Building. Twice. Now there's Scott Naturals tube-free bath tissue. Get the premium softness you need without the wasteful tube. Toss the tube for good with Scott Naturals tube-free.
Hello, I'm an Idaho potato farmer, and our big Idaho potato truck is still missing. So my buddy here is going to help me find it. Here we go! It's out there somewhere, spreading the word about America's favorite potato, heart-healthy Idaho potatoes, and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women campaign. If you see it, I hope you'll let us know. Always look for the Grown in Idaho seal.
Worry less. Trust more. Encourage positive chewing habits with Chew Toys at PetSmart. Buy one, save 50% on all new Nylabone Flavor Frenzy Dog Chew Toys. Only at PetSmart.
Saving and smiling. That's how I start the year. With tons of stuff on rollback, clearance, and more at Walmart. And that really puts a smile on my face.
Thousands of items on rollback and clearance, in-store and online.
I've smoked a lot and quit a lot, but ended up nowhere. Now I use this.
The Nicoderm CQ patch with unique extended release technology helps prevent the urge to smoke all day.
I want this time to be my last time. That's why I choose Nicoderm CQ.
Every truck can tow a boat. Every truck can climb a hill. Every truck can haul a trailer. But not everyone can say they're the fastest growing truck brand in America. Guts, glory, Ram.
The best part about going to Walt Disney World just might be staying at a Walt Disney World Resort Hotel. From royal encounters to royal rooms. And pirates to paradise. The magic never has to stop. And now you can save up to 30% off a select Walt Disney World Resort hotel room. Book your stay now and discover how close the magic can be.
Think fixing your windshield is a big hassle? Not with Safelite. This family needed their windshield replaced, but their daughter's heart was set on going to the zoo. So guess what? I met them at the zoo. Service that fits your schedule. That's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
This is Paul. This is Paul's office. For those who believe a serious job doesn't have to feel so serious. One-a-day men's Vitacraves with key nutrients like B vitamins, which help convert food to fuel. It's not just a gummy, it's a complete multivitamin.
Thanks.
FedEx has solutions to enable global commerce that can help your company grow steadily and quickly.
Cut it out.
See you tomorrow.
The Arctic blast all the way into the south now, Jen. And when temperatures get well below freezing, even by northern standards, it's going to be cold, considered cold. And the south just really isn't equipped to deal with the cold.
Well, exactly. Houses, wardrobes generally aren't weather hardy in this part of the country. Yesterday, I saw people sort of with the hunch down, not talking or looking at anyone, walk in Atlanta because of the cold.
Yeah. So, it is very cold. And out in the cold, in the south, in Atlanta, Anaritis Rodriguez joining us live in the suburbs of Atlanta. Hello, Anaritis.
Hey there, good morning, guys. Yeah, as a New England girl, by my standards, this is very, very cold. At one point this morning, it was colder in Denver, Colorado. It was colder here rather than in Denver, Colorado. And the air temperature here was colder than Philadelphia. Right now, the wind chill advisory has been canceled for the day, but we are at 18 degrees at this moment, and it's so cold. Take a look at this. Our producer, Davina, dipped this T-shirt in water, and it froze in just 5 minutes. This is why the National Weather Service says that these temperatures are dangerous, especially for people who work outside. We've been outside at this Quick Trip in Marietta. We've noticed a lot of people who work, who come here, are work outside, are landscape artists or they're roofing contractors. With us is Britt Barker. He's the manager here. Tell us how busy has it been this morning?
Extremely busy. Selling tons of coffee this morning.
You got a lot of people who come here who work outside.
Yes, we do. Tons of construction workers and all kinds of guys like that.
What's been the #1 item that everyone's picking up?
Definitely coffee, cappuccinos, and of course donuts go with the coffee.
Donuts.
Yeah.
Love it. Have you been this busy all week?
It's been a little busier this morning just due to the cold weather and the coffee.
All right, well, there you have it. We won't see above freezing temperatures until at least tomorrow afternoon. Back to you.
Anaritis, thank you.
Gotta load up on that coffee, don't you?
And then you want the carbs, right?
Right.
Stay warm. All right, when it's this cold, it's important to take care of your home, too, both inside and outside.
Jim Cantori is at Home Depot with tips on how to protect your plants and your garden.
Bitterly cold temperatures have invaded the south. If you've ever been down through here, you know we can have annuals that last all winter long. They are tender, though. And when you get temperatures down below 20 and the kind of winds and wind chills that we have, they will not make it. So let's talk to Pamela here at the Home Depot Garden Center to talk about what we can do. Well, we've got a tray of pansies, and what's interesting is we just took this out a half hour ago, and look at these leaves already starting to wilt. It's down in the 20s right now, and look at them go. The wind and the cold temperatures are doing their job on this thing, aren't they?
They are. They are. Yeah, you want to make sure that you cover them today.
After the sun goes down, typically, yes. Right? Or just about sunset?
As soon as you can, yes.
Wow, that's literally 30 minutes. I mean, this was a healthy tray, and you can see how these are kind of wilting like wet spinach in through here. So, again, we get these protected. We go the whole night. What about when the sun comes up tomorrow morning? You can get a little bit of a greenhouse effect with some of this stuff, right?
Right, exactly. Especially if you have plastic down. Right. You want to make sure that you get it up as soon as the sun warms things up. You wanted to get that off of the
So about
plant.
mid-morning or so?
Right.
All right, so pansies, cabbage like what we have in through here, like that's protected. You can get some of this plastic wrap by the Home Depot. If not, you can use sheets that you have, old bed sheets, old towels, but make sure it's not sitting right on top of the tender vegetation. And that's exactly what we would suggest that you do. So again, mid-morning though is the key to get those sheets off.
That's right.
All right, thanks, Pam.
Thank you.
Appreciate your help. Tender vegetation, even in the south, can make it through a cold winter's night if you protect it. Back to you.
I am always impressed at how, in the springtime, all the pansies are still doing good. They're pretty hardy little flowers.
You say they're resilient.
I think they're resilient.
All right, and you can also, if you have potted plants, bring them inside, bring them into the garage.
Yep.
And that's the story for about half the country. Have to deal with those issues right now.
Oh, I know. We've got a lot of folks here who still feel like you are in the teens or single digits or even sub-zero. In the meantime, though, you could warm up if you went to California.
Yeah, that's how the other half's living in some cases. San Diego, 58 right now. Expected to get closer to 70. We'll let you know if that's going to last into the weekend.
Why do you want to do your taxes now with Jackson Hewitt? Because you need a free $50 Walmart e-gift card so you can share the joy of getting your taxes done. Now get a free $50 Walmart e-gift card when you do your taxes with Jackson Hewitt at Walmart.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Ickey Woods will celebrate almost anything?
Number 44. 44, that's me! Get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts. Woo! Give me some!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
44, ladies, that's me! Woo! Gonna get some cold cuts today.
Everyone sees the same sky. But when we look up, we see something amazing. This winter, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
Going to have wide-ranging impacts.
Winter storms are too important to cover in just a few minutes.
It's going to be brutal for a lot of people.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
That's why those temperatures stay cold.
Look at this!
Listen to that!
See this winter like never before. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Currently in our area, 64 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, rain showers along with windy conditions. High 68. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, showers early, low 64. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, cloudy skies early, followed by partial clearing. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 74. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Fiber One now makes cookies. Find them in the cookie aisle.
Here, kitty. Here, cutie. Oh, just come snuggles with Mama.
Missing something? Like the BOGO event at Sears Optical. Right now, buy any pair of glasses and get a second pair free. Sears Optical. Don't miss a thing.
Good night, Mama's girl.
How could a luminous protein in jellyfish impact life expectancy in the U.S., real estate in Hong Kong, and the optics industry in Germany? At T. Rowe Price, we understand the connections of a complex global economy. It's just one reason over 70% of our mutual funds beat their 10-year Lipper average. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment information, risks, fees, and expenses to read and consider carefully before investing.
Sir, we're gonna need you on the runway.
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
If you're driving and you can't see clearly for 1 second at 60 miles per hour, you can't see clearly for 88 feet. And a lot can happen in 88 feet. That's why Bosch created the the new Icon with ClearMax 365. It's a rubber technology for longer lasting performance, not found on any other wiper blade.
Can you read this for me?
We invited 29 people to test their vision.
I can't read this at all. Here, try Adlin's Adjustables.
Awesome.
You just turn the little wheels.
As you're turning the knob, things just like come into view. I love that you can adjust it for whatever you're doing.
What if I told you they were only $29.99?
Okay, I wouldn't believe you. Call 800-881-ADLENS or visit adlens.com. For $29.99, you can see for yourself, and they make a great gift.
Latte or Olay? Cozy or cool? Exactly the way you want it. Until boom, it's bedtime. Your mattress is a battleground of thwarted desire. Enter the Sleep Number bed. Save $300 on the final closeout of the C3 Queen mattress set. He's the softie. His Sleep Number setting is 35. You're the rock at 60. And snoring? Sleep Number's even got an adjustment for that. You can only find Sleep Number at a Sleep Number store. Right now, find the lowest prices of the season with the C3 Queen mattress set, only $1199.98. No better sleep with Sleep Number.
And pay the return postage. Try NoNo risk-free today.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
You're watching the Weather Channel, Weather Center Live, as we cover this very, very cold Arctic outbreak for much of the country. And Jen, the thing is here at the Weather Channel, nowhere else on Earth you have a collection of meteorologists and experts, right? The minds that are walking around these halls and this building when it comes to weather are top notch.
I know. I wish we could record some of the conversations sometimes because we geek out over the weather, and we could take it outside today.
We did take it outside. Ryan Davidson
did. Yes, we did. So our weather producer, Ryan Davidson, who weather produces for AMHQ, went outside with some bubbles and the cold
air. Look at this. And this is real time.
It's freezing.
Creates a bubble, and you can see the crystallization here.
This is the movie Frozen.
Again.
That's where they got the idea. Yeah. Our producer wants me to get through one day where I don't reference
it blows it away. Then it looks like ash.
It does look like ash, but it's little ice crystals.
And that was real time. That wasn't a time lapse. That was the whole deal. That cold right outside the Weather Channel studios here in Atlanta, Georgia.
So supposedly temperatures have to be about 12 degrees or colder to be able to do this. And really, at least half of the country could have done this experiment this morning.
And Dr. Greg Postel's in the lab wants to tell us what else is needed for that to work.
Well, you know, actually that drop I think had soap in it, but you know, technically it's really dirty water because in order for it to freeze at a temperature warmer than -40, it's got to have some ice crystals in there, kind of ice nuclei, in order for that crystallization to occur. So the water, though soapy, actually has to have some tiny little little particles in there for that icing to occur. Otherwise, it would remain as liquid water. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, and Dr. Postel, that's the thing, is a lot of people don't necessarily realize that purest water can exist below freezing.
Yes, that's called supercooled water, and all the way down to -40 degrees. We could have pure water if it didn't have stuff in it, little tiny particles, which allows the ice crystallization to occur. So anyway, very cool stuff. That's one of the many winter weather phenomena that we obviously deal with every day. So let's now have a look at the radar and look at some other winter phenomena that people in the upper Midwest are dealing with today, with some snow moving through Wisconsin, Madison. It's on your doorstep. It's going to get to you in Chicago, and this is a little clipper system that we can time out through the rest of the afternoon. It's going to move very quickly through the Great Lakes and into the Northeast and bring some very strong winds, which is why visibilities are going to be reduced. It's going to be a really fluffy, powdery snow because the temperatures are so low, and we'll have blizzard conditions in some places. From obviously winter storm watches are out across much of this region, and with snowfall accumulations that warrant it. Look at some of these numbers. We have obviously in the lee of the lakes a lot more because of the lake effect there, but 3 to 5 generally in a swath all across this region, and moving from the upper Midwest and Great Lakes into the Northeast through Friday. So then the next question you have to ask is, this little clipper system that's zipping around here in that northwesterly flow, how long is that northwesterly wind going to continue? It is locked in place, continuing to bring us this douse of cold air from Canada. But I'm looking at some longer range charts, guys. In New York City, for example, going out the next 2 weeks, the forecasts show us stair-stepping into above average temperatures with a lot of confidence around there. We've got this confidence bar showing you that by the end of January, there's a lot of thinking that it's going to be above average this time of year. But before we get there, I got to bring this up. Next Thursday, the models are sniffing around at a little dip in the jet stream on the East Coast, kind of the remnants of this Arctic air that we've got now. Just enough cold air in place still by next Thursday, and just maybe a storm off the East Coast. How about that? Some of the models are bringing in a coastal low that brings some snow in New England. Some of the models don't really have it. You know what? Stay tuned to the Weather Channel. We'll iron it all out for you when the data becomes just a little bit clearer. Chris and Jen, back to you guys.
Or you could just go to Phoenix. Phoenix, Arizona, where it was 81 degrees yesterday.
Yeah,
oh, man.
Not perfectly clear right now, but 60 degrees.
Not bad, Phoenix. Record high yesterday. We still have some warmth across the west, although I don't think we'll set as many records as yesterday.
And it's even some of the inland areas where it tends to be very cold this time of year. Parts of Nevada hit 64 yesterday. That's a record. Utah, 51. And Rock Mercury, Nevada, 71 degrees. And it's the tale of
the two
air
jet stream.
masses.
That's right. We got a big ridge and a big trough. And the ridge in the west is keeping us warm again today. We're going to see temperatures warm, although not record-breaking likely today.
All that yellow and orange, the warmest spots in the country right now.
All right, well, coming up, we are going to talk more about this cold and how we're trying to make it through the worst of this cold snap.
And another round of Arctic air is on the way. We'll let you know how long it'll take until we're back to normal. Back in 60 seconds.
Currently in our area, 64 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, rain showers along with windy conditions. High 68. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, showers early. Low 64. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, cloudy skies early, followed by partial clearing. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 74. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It's the coldest morning of the season for 2/3 of the country today, and not very many people are left out.
And Jen, the thing is, it's from here, Minneapolis, all the way in the Canadian border,
to there,
to the Florida.
This cold is deep.
It is, and we're going to check on some of the coldest cities, and that includes the Windy City.
That's right. Temperatures still have not gone above zero yet today. When will they do that? But what price will we pay for warmer temperatures? I'm meteorologist Mike Bettis. Answers for you straight ahead on Weather Center.
And it's a pain to deal with the cold, but we'll show you if that cold is actually a source of some health problems, including headaches.
This is Weather Center Live, and thank you very much for joining us for another hour. I'm Chris Warren.
And I'm Jen Carfagno. The cold this morning, we've been talking about it, and I think the worst of it is here for many this morning. This Arctic blast delivered the worst of its punch today.
And say you just, moved to Minneapolis. Well, you know what? You might think you're a little bit farther north than Minneapolis. Well below zero today. In fact, around 20 below this morning, and it looks cold, Jen.
Look at that wind just blowing that snow. Oh, man. Look at that. That could be the Arctic. But it's Minnesota. People there joined more than half of the U.S. population who was under some sort of wind chill this morning. You can see the wind in this picture. A lot of folks heard it last night blowing in the cold air.
If you haven't spent much time in the cold, say you spent most of your life in some of the warmer locations, bone chilling really describes it. It feels like you can't escape the cold when the wind's blowing and it's this cold.
It really hits you. And in places like the Windy City, you are on day 4 of sub-zero temperatures. We, I think, are still below zero, at least at O'Hare Airport right now.
And let's check in right now live with Mike Bettis. Hi, Mike.
Hey, good morning to you guys. You are absolutely correct there, Jen. It is still 2 below zero at Chicago O'Hare Airport with a wind chill that's about 22 degrees below zero. They'll be de-icing planes today at O'Hare as well as Midway, and especially when you consider we've got a little bit of snow that'll be rolling in here later on this afternoon. May look by as much as 1 to 3 inches of snow that comes our way. So it could be a little bit slow getting in or getting out, especially getting out of Chicago. If they're going to be de-icing your plane, you're going to have to wait a little bit at the gate as they do that. Folks that are out here driving will have some issues for the evening drive because of that snow, because the pavement, the sidewalks, everything's ice cold because we've had such chilly temperatures 4 straight days below zero. So I've got my coffee cup, guys. I know you've seen this one before. Let me back up a little bit here and show you just how it works. Steaming hot water that just came out of the coffee pot. It's always fun to do this. Steaming hot water in 2 below zero. Can we get it to form into an instant cloud? 3, 2, there you go. Cloud. Just like that. A few drops, but not many. Boom. Just like that. It sublimates right into water vapor and a cloud. I love this, guys. You can do so many things when it's cold out. You can do so many fun experiments and have fun with it today. If you're off school, go outside and have fun with it, but be careful. You don't want to spend too much time out there where you suffer from exposure.
Careful that experiment. Mike, you did it right, where you just used a little bit of water and you tossed it up real high away from you, but people have gotten burned before doing that experiment. Mike Bettis, stay warm, man. You've been out there for 4 days in sub-zero. We need to get you inside.
I'm looking for some hot tomato soup coming up. Trust me.
You deserve that. And some grilled cheese with that too, Mike.
Yep.
All right, let's look at Chicago. So, yes, we're still below zero, 2 below, but we do get above zero. We get into the teens as that clipper comes in. It's actually going to help warm up our temperatures a little bit. Snow comes in with it, though, with this clipper. But all the while, it's going to be so windy. And with that wind, it's still going to feel sub-zero all day long. We don't actually feel above zero until 9 o'clock tonight. So the cold is here. And, Chris, the question is this as cold as it gets?
And that is a good question, and we're going to go right now and get the answer from Dr. Greg Postel. He is standing by live in the lab, keeping an eye on what's happening right now and well into the future, Dr. Postel.
Yeah, Chris, great intro. Let's have a look at what's going on right now across the country. Basically, the eastern 2/3 is really frigid, and we can start off with this globe. I love this perspective. Let's go right to the northeast and show you the current temperatures. That's the blue bar, and then the light blue bar is the actual wind chill factor. So it's like what the temperature feels with the wind blowing around, and some of those numbers are pretty ridiculously cold, especially as you get into the south. I mean, look at some of these numbers. Atlanta, it's actually 20, but it feels like 10 with the wind. Still feels like 10 all the way to the Gulf Coast in Mobile, Alabama. This is really cold, especially for the south. And the question is, historically, where does this stack up? Let's look at how many records were broken this morning. Last time I showed you this graphic, there were 5. Since then, we've gotten a few more reports. So we've got overall some spotty reports of records. But yeah, these numbers are, pretty chilly, especially along the Gulf Coast in the south where that cold goes right to the bone. And actually, you know what? On the satellite pictures, you can see the cold, the outline of it right in here. You see this kind of white area right there? That's not clouds. All that stuff out here, that's ground temperature as cold as the cloud. So the satellite sees the ground and it's confused. It thinks the ground is the cloud because it's the same temperature. Nuts. Chris, this is some really cold air. Now, how cold is it? I mean, aren't you freezing just thinking about it?
Yes, it's cold. Just look at the numbers. But Dr. Postel, will you put it in perspective for us how cold it has been at its coldest?
Yes, let's do that right now. So here's right now a map of the current, actually the low temperatures this morning for a bunch of cities. Minneapolis, -6. And I thought to myself, you know what? I was in Wisconsin for 10 years, and I'm thinking, -6 is not too bad for January. Here are the all-time lows across the region. -41 in Minneapolis back in 1888. Atlanta, you've been down to -9 in 1899. So obviously, it's been a lot colder in history, but still, you walk outside, I need like 6 layers on. What do you think? Jen and Chris, back to you.
I need 7. Greg, I think you need to bump up the excitement level a little bit over this. All right, we're back with more perspective on this freezing cold from Nashville and Reynolds Wolf.
This program brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association. Know the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's. Learn more at alz.org/10 signs.
Bill, have you seen my keys anywhere?
I'll help you look.
Maybe you left him in the bathroom again.
Just strangest thing.
The warning signs of Alzheimer's disease may be right in front of you.
It's all right, baby.
For help and information, call the Alzheimer's Association or visit alz.org/10signs.
This breakfast French toaster is so good.
Really good. The French toast complements the bacon and the egg and the cheese.
Oh, hey, French toast, you're so warm and inviting.
That's like a compliment. What I'm saying is they are complementary, the way like a pitcher and a catcher would complement each other well.
Oh, like good throw. Nice catch.
I don't think you're going to get this.
That doesn't sound like a compliment.
It's the perfect complement to your morning. The Breakfast French Toaster. And start your day with the 99-cent morning drink stop. This is how you Sonic.
It may seem strange, but people really can love their laxative, especially when it's Miralax. It hydrates, eases, and softens to unblock your system naturally, so you have peace of mind from start to finish. Love your laxative, Miralax.
Why do you want to do your taxes now with Jackson Hewitt? Because you need a free $50 Walmart e-gift card so you can share the joy of getting your taxes done. Now get a free $50 Walmart e-gift card when you do your taxes with Jackson Hewitt at Walmart.
Currently in our area, 64 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy with occasional rain showers. High 68. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, showers early, low 64. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, morning showers, high 75. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
On camera.
Oh my God.
Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
At last.
Sometimes at last doesn't happen at first.
My love has come along. My lonely days.
Your dad just kissed my mom.
Are over.
Turning two worlds into one takes love.
And life is like a song.
Helping protect that world takes State Farm.
Let the Ancestry leaf guide you on a journey that crosses generations, all to tell the most amazing story, yours. Discover your story. Start searching for free now at Ancestry.com.
So you're saying you're going to give me my credit score for free, right? And then you're gonna ask me for my credit card so you can charge me on the down low. 2 weeks later, look, Credit Karma.
Oh, are you talking to websites again?
It's saying free credit score.
Credit Karma? Yeah, it's actually free. Look, you don't have to put in your credit card information. Credit Karma. Really free credit scores. Really free.
Fist bump. Right now on Weather Center Live, tracking a big cold all the way down to the deep south.
You know, it's a dangerous cold. It is a serious cold. It's why schools have been canceled. Kids are, staying home and not out there at the bus stops today. But it's also the kind of cold that we can't stop talking about. I mean, all of us this morning ran our thermometers to see what it said.
And look at some of these temperatures. Houston is 29 degrees, 16 in Dallas. That's what it was this morning at its coldest point. See some of the purples retreating a little bit, but still well below freezing in many spots from Mississippi to Georgia to North Carolina and, of course, Nashville, where it's 12 right now.
And I do love Nashville. It is a cute
It's a
city,
fun
great
city.
music, but it has been too cold this morning, starting at 4 degrees and now still only at 12. Reynolds Wolf is there this morning. Reynolds, good morning.
Yeah, we're singing a tune of the chilly temperatures, guys. You're right about that. And Jen, I know how much you love this city. You know, one thing that's interesting about Nashville is so many people think, okay, it's a southern city, so it never gets cold, right? Wrong. And today is one of those days where it's proof positive. We're in the Arctic air that's setting up camp, and let me tell you, it is certainly brutal here this morning. City's doing a couple of things to combat it, and you're seeing one of the things they're doing right behind me. You see this school bus. What's interesting about the school bus, last time I was on a bus like this, I was a freshman in high school back in Jefferson, Alabama, trying to think of how I'd explain to my dad how I had 4 D's and an F on my report card. Well, I'll tell you, Nashville's getting a passing grade on what they're doing with these school buses. What they're doing is they're taking 2 of them and using them as mobile warming units. This one set up at the end of Broadway where it meets up with the Cumberland River is going to remain open. There's another one that's set up at another park where people can come by at any time, hop inside and escape the bitter cold air. And they're open not just for people coming by, but also their pets if need be. Guys?
It's a really great idea.
And Reynolds, 4 D's and an F? Are you serious about that?
Yeah, we didn't have meteorology courses in class. I was distracted by quite a few things. These things do happen. But let me tell you, one thing that's going to be distracting people is going to be this cold air. It is going to stick around like a pesky neighbor for the next couple of days. We do see a little bit of a let-up as we get into about midday on Sunday. Sunday afternoon's better. But till then, it is chilly times in the Music City.
All right, Reynolds. So, you know, there's the warming units. I really think that's a great idea. What happens when kids are back at school? They don't use those buses anymore for this?
Well, what's interesting when you bring up the school buses, they're not going to need them right now. In fact, school is closed around the Nashville area, and it's interesting you bring it up. One of the reasons why we don't have school is because the cold air has been affecting not the tires, but rather the brakes. The school's not going to take any chances. So what they're going to do is they're going to keep things shut down. Kids are out of school. So although that may be frustrating for a lot of the parents, the kids are happy because it tacks on to their the holiday, the Christmas and New Year's holidays that seem like they're never going to end, which again, smiles to the parents, or rather for the kids, maybe not so much to the parents. You know where I'm going with that.
Reynolds is saying that as a dad who has had kids out of school for, what, 3 weeks when they're on holiday. Yes, we all totally get that.
You're on it.
All right. Reynolds Wolf.
Absolutely.
We certainly appreciate it, man.
All right, so a very chilly start to the day in Nashville there, and I think that's a great use of the buses to help people find a warm place to go. Now, another thing that you got to deal with this cold, perhaps, is the headache it's giving you.
Yeah, I mean, you might be feeling the pressure.
Maybe.
In fact, we're going to go right now when we come back on Weather Center Live and speak with the doctor to let you know why the weather can sometimes give you a huge headache.
Let's take a look outside right now. Rockefeller Center, there is one soul out there on the ice skating rink in the cold.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
You were out of control.
But not always.
Is your back acting up again? Is lower back pain a daily drain? If you're one of the millions who suffer from the agony of lower back pain, you need Be Active, the revolutionary new acupressure system that instantly helps ease discomfort in your lower back, buttocks, and legs. Watch. Just slip on Be Active and tighten the strap. You'll instantly begin experiencing relief. Look, back pain often radiates from the lower back to your lower extremities, but apply Be Active to the trigger point on the calf muscle to instantly relieve pain. The secret is the AcuPoint pressure pad that gently compresses, alleviating pain at the sciatic nerve and lower back for instant relief.
I just slide it on, I tighten the strap, I feel the pressure point right behind my knee, and right away I feel the release of pain in my lower back.
Be Active provides firm pressure behind the knee on the specific pressure point, which can help relieve the pain and suffering from sciatica.
Wow, that's I can feel comfort already.
It's like right away relief.
I just put it on, but I can feel it already easing the pain.
But now I don't feel the pain at all. This is really something.
You can't see the relief? I can feel it.
It kind of feels like it's relaxing that muscle.
I definitely wish I found this a couple months ago.
Be Active gives you the ability to instantly be active again. Wear it while exercising. Keep up with the kids. It's invisible under clothing, comfortable enough to sleep in. Be Active easily adjusts to fit any leg so everyone can live pain-free. Be Active is always there to deliver the pain relief you need. Now start living pain-free with the acupressure point therapy of Be Active for just $19.99. But wait, call now and we'll double the offer free. Just pay separate processing. If you don't begin to get instant relief, send it back and owe nothing. You get it all for just $19.99. So call or click now.
To order, call 1-800-370-7747. That's 1-800-370-7747 or go online to beactivebrace.com. Call or click today.
Homer, did I ever tell you I'm getting too over it?
Sunday. Frustrations mount as the prospectors come up empty.
The area we've been digging is not producing. I'm feeling the pressure.
And Craig gets a little too close for comfort.
Your hair's thick.
I am the luckiest woman in the world because I was one of the first people to sail on Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line's beautiful Grand Celebration, the newest and best cruise to the Bahamas. With 2 fun-filled nights on the ship, a spectacular day in the Bahamas, and prices from just $149, you can get lucky too. Call 800-814-7100. That's 800-814-7100. And let the fun begin.
I'm Robin.
And I'm Chris. And according to Mama, we're brothers.